What's up, family? They know, well, they call me Distant Williamson, Marvin Williamson, and previously owner of Marvelous Home Inspection, providing quality home inspection with you in mind. Ooh, it's been some years since I said that.
Was that your model?
Yeah.
So how did you come up with that? Because
I don't know.
my motto is keeping it realty, and some people get it. For people that are looking to get into the industry, you know, the expectations that you had coming into the industry versus what you actually dealt with when you started working in the industry. Did it meet expectations? Did it exceed expectations, or did you find that you had to do a little bit more growing to get to where you needed to be?
So let's take a couple steps back. When home inspections found me, I bought my first property up north. We had a home inspector named A.C.R.E. Shout out A.C.R.E. Port St. Lucie, ground up home inspections. He was my mentor. I want to get my flowers with it yet. Guys, don't send me no flowers. Ladies, send me flowers. and Ron, he taught me the game. He was just basically telling me, hey, listen, man, there's opportunity, there's space at the table, and there's barriers to entry. And so with that being said, and I hope I ain't jumping no guns, but was it what I expected as for the putting the work in and grinding? Yeah, because I knew I had to work. I knew I was on my own.
I think it's a little different because we share something common in that because the real estate industry kind of pulled me in also. From a realtor standpoint, it was not what I expected.
Okay.
What I learned in class versus what I learned when I got out was totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And I was blessed because the person that mentored me kind of was the same thing. He was trying to pull me in, and I was like, I don't want to work. I actually was appraiser before I became a realtor.
A property appraiser?
Property appraiser, because I didn't want to deal with people.
That's what's up.
The house don't talk back to you.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, the house, I measured the property, took pictures, went to my next location to shoot comps, and that was it.
That was it.
So, it's a very people person industry, and that's why people love you, because explaining the report to the customer, many times with inspectors, I would have, what is some of the requirements like background to get into the industry?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really never had a construction background, but my granddaddy.
Is that a requirement?
My granddaddy did interior construction. It was like drywall, but I used to go there in the summers. I helped him with drywall, and my dad does presently stucco. That's hard work outside, manual labor. And his brother was a I forgot what it's called, not an engineer, but he used to put lumber together and have y'all did that. I can't remember the name, but I say this. Yeah, that's that big word. Don't do Creek like that. Don't do Coconut Creek High School like that. Listen. My uncle was a carpenter. So I say that to say this. I did not have a construction background. It is not a requirement. Okay. The only thing that's the industry is going to require you is to maintain service hours, just like with any professional position. Anything that you have to have a license in, you got to make sure your hours are good for the DBR, which is the department in the state of Florida, your license or certification. And one of the biggest things is keeping insurance. And in home inspections, it's high reward. Make a lot of money on inspection. You come home with $1,000 in cash, 2 inspections. But you got to do the reports. And the reports, and that's what I was really good at. The reports take about $4 or $5 a report. Because I was detailed. Like I said, I used to break the terminology when it came to use and uses of electricity, the temperature degree drops. I like the pictures do the work. I had a 4K camera, let the pictures do the work. And then I explained it to my customers there. And it was just about communicating, because when you're making a $700,000, $1 million, $250,000, and I did inspections for houses for $25,000. I treated a $25,000 house like I treated a $1 million house.
Let's speaking about costs. How do you guys price? Is it by square footage, by room count? And you don't have to give details on what.
No, for sure.
But how do you come up with
square footage, year of the home, and square footage year of the home? And let me tell you why. And this is a secret for all you home buyers out there who have not purchased yet. When I used to get inquiries for inspections, the first thing I would check, you're in a home. Now, if your house is built like from, I think, the 90 building code, 40 building code, 95 to like 2003, them homes, them CVS homes are the best homes for you. I would take a home from 2003.
I find that a lot too, like homes that are built in the 70s. Once you renovate them, structurally, they're better.
Yeah, they are.
But you just have to knock down some walls.
But think about it too. Don't forget that in the 1970s, those homes built in the 70s had lead pipe. So when I get an inquiry on a home from 1973, I know I'm running into possibly lead pipe or something like that. From those cast iron pipe. Cast iron pipe.
Now, those homes usually require a 4-point inspection, right?
4-point, windmill.
Can you talk a little bit about the 4-point inspection?
When you get your home inspection, there's a comprehensive inspection. When you look at all the facets of your home, you have a wind mitigation. That inspection is like a coupon. Yeah, you'll pay some money for maybe about $100, $125 depending on the square foot of the home. But that inspection itself is actually a coupon to get your mortgage insurance or your homeowner's insurance lower. It's good to go ahead and pay for that windmill because in the windmill, we're going to get to the 4-point. Those are all 4-point. It's a 4-point inspection of the home. And then wind mitigation all goes to insurance. The comprehensive inspection is for you to know about the house. So it's like you're going to the doctor for your physical exam. You do a comprehensive exam from the head down to the toes, blood work and all. So 4-point works like this. We're looking at it. And so look at those facets of the house. All right, so we look at the piping, we want to make sure that the electrical panel is good, we want to make sure the water heater is good, and the roof has a useful life. I'm going to give you guys a tidbit. I'm going to save you thousands of dollars right now. If you're locked in and you listen to this podcast, I'm going to save you $20,000, $30,000 right now. You ready? Okay. When you buy a house, you want to make sure you look at the age of the roof. When you sell a house, you want to make sure that you have your permits for the roof. What are you talking about, Mark? What I'm trying to tell you is no matter if you buy the pretty clay tile, the metal roof, the asphalt shingles, the roof is only good for 20 years.
Even with the metal roof?
Yeah, because they look at it's the underlay that matters. It don't matter what's on the top, it's the underlay. Now, they'll tell you that the metal roof lasts 45, 35 years. The insurance company is looking at how long ago was that underlay, the SWR, secondary water protection barrier, was changed? When was the last time it was changed? Yeah, so when we do it, we look at the permits. And it was built in 2025, you got 20 years, so it's 2045. If it was done in 2000, you got 20 years, you're 5 years overdue, and that's when you got to find an insurance company.
So that comprehensive report is good for both the buyer.
If it was built in 2025, you got 20 years, so it's 2045. If it was done in 2000, you got 20 years, you're 5 years overdue, and that's when you got to find an insurance company.
So that comprehensive report is good for both the buyer and the seller. So a seller going to list their home, you recommend that they do a comprehensive report too?
Yeah, so you're not blindsided.
And the reason being is, just again, my experience, sometimes they don't realize that they might need to replace the water heater.
Mm-hmm.
I personally have a dishwasher that I don't use. I never print that thing up.
Mm-hmm.
I use it for storage.
But believe it or not, on that dishwasher, when we look at the service tag, it tells you the year it was manufactured and we have the useful life. So if you never use it, no matter how much.
And they might back up on you, because that happened to me one time when I was changing my garbage disposal. For some reason, we ran the dishwasher, and I guess because somehow the line that was connected, it just everything from the garbage disposal back into the dishwasher.
Yeah.
And so that was like, if I was selling my house and the whole inspection committee happened to do that, that would have cost me probably a new dishwasher or something. You mentioned something very important in the state of Florida: wind mitigation reports. Now, we are in hurricane season. Can you talk about the wind mitigation report? Roughly look for impact windows versus shutters, if there's a difference, just like it was explained for us with the roofs. If a person is looking to get impact windows, should they go that route for the shutter route? Why that report is important for insurance purposes.
I'm going to put my 2 cents in just for me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Based on my experience and my pockets, Okay.
That's what we
Based on my experience in my pockets, I wouldn't buy impact windows.
don't like to do.
I mean, they look nice now. It has curb appeal.
Yes.
It has curb appeal.
I'll tell you why.
We're gonna share
the same conclusion.
So 2 cents plus 2 cents, you go 4 cents. Yeah. That's 4 cents. All right. Let me tell you what I like. I like shutter. I like the accordion shutter. All right. Let me tell you why. It's less money, and it's easier to put up, put down. Now, guys, it's impact resistant windows. It don't stop. Like it still can break. So when you add those $10,000 windows to each part of your house, you increase the value of your house, which actually costs you much more money in insurance because it's a higher liability. And it don't stop anything from coming in.
Somebody drop it down. I mean, yes. Somebody sound effects guy. Can't show that from. I'm not a dope myself. But listen, I didn't even think about. I didn't know that.
Yeah, for sure.
The reason why I went with shutters is because it's easier to the accordion pull, close, open. Also, when I go out of town, I pull them, I lock them, I'm good. Impact windows, for me personally, when it rains, I like to feel the wind. You can't hear anything outside.
They're a hurricane?
Yeah, I'm weird like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I be honest?
Start the break.
Can I be honest with you? They don't talk about me. Don't talk about me. But the hurricanes, I'm a truthful radio. I go and crack the door in the front door and see what's going on outside. No, you don't, but I'm not buying.
Right. Another thing, from a security standpoint, my brother has impact windows.
Okay.
Police could be outside, SWAT could be in the neighborhood. You will have no clue, especially when he sits in the bed, watching his TV, watching remote in his hand, like Albert. But he would not know if something is going on right in front of his house because you can't hear anything.
There's noise there, right?
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why, I don't like impact windows.
Yeah.
Definitely stay away from those panel shutters because, that definitely takes some work. But, at the end of
make sure you clean behind the toilet, okay? Make sure you clean up under the sink because we got to see the pipes. I'm not moving tampons. I'm not doing that, okay? And I hate to be vulgar because that's what some people just dirty. Now, also, you got to make sure if your electrical panel, it needs to be clear. You know that if you have something obstructing the electrical panel, as a home inspector, I feel for my safety. I don't have to touch that panel. You can't do nothing about it. You can't sue me or nothing. So if a home inspector picks stuff up and move it from in front of that panel, even if when it comes to the water heater, they don't have to touch it. You just spent that $150, $200-$300 in that 4-point, and he's okay or she's okay. So make sure you have access to the electrical panel. Make sure the hot water tank has access. Make sure all the pipes, that's the toilet, the drains, the kitchen sink, all that has no obstruction. So take everything out, put it on the floor, and just make sure it's clean.
Remember that house with that townhouse in Coconut Creek? You know where I'm going.
Go ahead, tell the story.
Townhouse in Coconut Creek,
tell the story.
and I are there. I'm there, doing my job.
We got some stories, man. Listen, we got some stories. That might be better than information. Go ahead, tell us more.
Again, one shot of know potentially what you're walking into.
Yes. These are true stories.
Minding my business. Marvin goes upstairs, he's doing his thing, trying to, talk to the tenants at the time, because us being their tenants, they're probably like, this is gonna go through all of my stuff. Oh, it'll be fine. Marvin goes upstairs. I see him open up the bedroom door and close the real tenants. I was like, you not going with it? What's going on? You don't want to go in there. Oh, I want to go in there.
I said it like this. Hold on, let me say. I said, we're going there. I said it just.
Go. Yeah, I was like, no, what's up? Oh.
What you saw? What you saw?
I'm gonna say it like this. I didn't see a lot. Heavy sarcasm. A little, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old boy was in there with his girlfriend. Doing the do? And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. You That's not even your house, sir.
Yeah.
You and your parents downstairs, and
They were okay with it. Oh, tell about what she left on. What she left on was a black bike. It was sad.
I don't know why she left. Maybe you interrupted something.
But I had to go get the picture of the AC, so I had to go back in there. Remember? I said, "Okay, guys, I don't see." They were going.
Yes, I would.
They were still going when I was in there. Listen, guys, listen. I got the camera.
I'm trying to get out of this house. Number one, because they have cats too, right?
I was down because I'm hurt.
Yeah. So we're trying to get in. You need to get in this house. You need to get in this room. Like, what do you need to help this thing go faster, Marvin? So that's why I'm there. We're 7 set of eyes. And so, don't tell me no. You can't go in there. What? Something blocking from the. What did you help you push this? I've had to help, move some things out of the way. But that was one story that just came to my mind. Now, were there any red flags that you missed? Especially in the beginning stages. None of us are perfect. Were there any red flags that you might have missed? Any major?
One of my major anxieties when we did home inspections was if I left the stove on. If I left the stove on.
You left the stove on. Who discovered that you left the stove on?
I left the stove on? No, I never left it on.
Oh, you left
it was just like, no, yeah, I was just saying that.
You're asking yourself.
Yeah, so listen.
Okay.
We,
kind of like when I leave the house.
Like 110 miles away from the house, and I'm riding, maybe and I get to Palm Beach. Y'all leave that stove on? I thought I turned the stove off. And I know it's not answering your question, but it's still one of my anxieties.
So that just means that you had perfect
perfection.
No.
Messed up. I've made so with home inspections. When you take a lot of pictures, like I got you. My third inspection, I did an inspection. It was a wind mitigation, and I labeled the roof wrong. And it was with State Farm, and State Farm called me. Is this marvelous home inspection? What's me? It was at State Farm. It was just like, I'm thinking they want to give me some business. This is pissed off. How can I looked at your license and you only had your license for 2 months. I'm like, yeah, so what? So you messed the roof. You caught it on. Okay. I called it flat when it was actually here and it messed that person's credit up. And you did remember on the wind mitigation, like the coupon, it messed the homeowner credit for the mitigation. And he was pissed off. And so I always had that anxiety. So it made me work harder and not make a mistake. But I took my time in inspections. And I never really, I don't want to say, I never really missed anything. That's it.
But that's life.
Yeah.
Making
mistakes is normal. That's how you learn. That's how you learn.
But luckily, they have some kind of checks and balances in place, I guess. So did you have to go back out there, or was it just a matter of just correcting the report?
No, I corrected the report. And so my software really helped me out a lot. And my software I use, my Inspector Code, I use that software. It was like a checklist for me to do my home inspections. I never deviated. So one of the things they teach you when you're in home inspection at the school I went to, I'm not giving no names because they're not paying me anything. No, I'm just paying you by check. Give me my money. Give me my money. We're here. But anyway, the program that I use, I stuck to it. I never deviated. So as a home inspector, anything that you do, you develop a footprint as to how you move throughout the property. So as you come in, I should stick to everything to the left-hand side. And on my checklist, it'll start with the kitchen. It'll be outlets. It'll be the AC system. It'll be the roof. And I never deviated. I never had the umption, or I felt like I had the autonomy to go ahead and deviate from it, because I feel that when you get too confident, that's where the most errors come. And so with home inspections, like I said, I was responsible for me. So if I miss, that makes me personally liable outside of my insurance errors and omission. And that's a strike against you, especially like a Google review. Oh, he missed my receptacle that wasn't working. So it's all a plan.
You brought up another good point. Errors and omission, insurance. If memory serves me right, that was one of the reasons why you got out of the industry, because you were seeing the cost of insurance had gone up so much that you are going to have to basically kick that back to the customer. It was something that you weren't comfortable.
Yes. So Marvin's home inspections, the venture, we were doing great. And we were, the name, the work, the activity, it was perfect. And I'm one of those people, I have a purpose for everything I do. And so the purpose is running low. Okay, I knew that Marvin's home inspection wasn't the life thing. It was a great thing at that time. Living, I say this during COVID, and I want to add something. When I met, I want to talk about that. Oh, so much good stuff to talk about. There's so much good stuff to talk about. Let's stick it. Hold on, I want to talk about how we met.
My next question was really going to be about marketing and lead generation.
Okay, yeah, we're going to finish. We'll finish there.
You can tie it.
Let's finish this year. All right, so the insurance people wrote me a letter, y'all. I go to the mailbox and I open the letter. That's what they want. They just want some more money. It's time to renew them, give these people their money, give me checks. I have my insurance. I looked at the letter, and ladies and gentlemen, the letter said that I need insurance for insurance. Okay. Whoa. Listen, I'm from South Florida. I know what hustling looks like. Okay, I'm not even not Willy Wonka me. No, go to Willy Wonka and chocolate factory over here. It came from the insurance company that I just hate them because in business we savvy, we pay for the whole year in advance, so we ain't got to worry about.
So what kind of
with home inspections, it's high risk. So, one, you can get in trouble with the insurance company. They can go after you. And the people you're doing the inspections for, they can go after you. And I like my pennies. And I didn't. What is that? What a DJ? Manny Fresh. You went through that time. So I didn't, outside of it being hard, trying to get business. Now we're giving consumers more access to be able to make me personally liable for something that they didn't want. And so, in that time of doing home inspections, everybody had no money at that point. So 2 years later, they'd be trying to call me like, hey, listen, I saw that you missed such and such. You're supposed to do an inspection on my sprinkler system. Yes, sir. There's a clause in my software, thank you for the software, that I can't inspect underground pipes. I'm a home inspector. And so I was getting these calls like, hey, you missed such and such. Not because I missed it, it's because they wanted the new one. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, you didn't tell me my AC was 3 years old. Please check your 4-point. I took a picture of the placard and I put it on there and such and such. And so I realized that a lot of people were really reaching. And it became too much. So outside of trying to run the business and not making, with the insurance saying they're not going to cover me, you know what I mean? And just not making the ends like I used to. It's time to hang it up. But I saved my money because I had a purpose for it. So I used that money to buy an asset.
So if they that was that requirement for the actual insurance, I mean, the rest of you think that you would pay back into the industry? Listen, I get it. There's initial startup costs that go along with the build. What are some of those startup costs that they can expect with home inspection that might not have been presented to them?
Getting into the industry, outside of insurance. Software is very expensive. It's like $200 a month. But it was worth everything.
I can't remember until like those thermal cameras and
I never did a flare. I never did flare.
I see some dispensers these days pull up by Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, I never did flare. So I try to stay away from like I use this Harbor Freight had this little water meter tester. Okay, now I stick it in the wall every once in a while. You walk in the house, you can smell that the house is there. You know what I mean? That's certain indication that. So I never went like gung-ho, and I never really offered that service because if I offered that service, I may be liable for it. I never did anything. I never offered anything I didn't want to be responsible. I stuck to my checklist. Listen, guys, we about to get into my legendary motivation, Dustin Williamson. You got to network. You don't know everything, and that's okay. And like Lee said, you gotta sometimes, and I tell everybody, you got to take an L in order to get a W. You never lost when you learn. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know everything, find somebody who does. Or who at least knows more than you, because I actually said, I still give business to my mentor. People call me today. I got trailer parks. I got condo managers. Hey, are you still? We need like 4 or 5 of them. Intercoastals. I remember when I did my first $1 million listing. I was all over. So I got a $1 million listing. You know what I mean? But that came from that came from asking questions and going to network and being in them places where you go drink coffee with somebody you never know to see what they know. And this is how I found Vernell. I was 2-3 months in, and I was in Port St. Lucie, and I was on Facebook. There was a blackface, African American, black. How do you like? Where we at on Facebook? Where we at on Facebook? Okay. Blackface. It was. If we talking about we going back in the day. That's when Mark Zuckerberg went and blocked everything. And okay, holding us back. Anyway, that part. So. I'm sorry, I just got upset because we got to pay a claim. I was searching realtors. I said, today.
Realtor, like
I was searching for a realtor. I was looking for a realtor. I was looking for a realtor. I did it. You look at me, guys. You look at me. I was searching for a realtor. And luckily, I was scored. Don't be tapping my knee. What you doing over here? Tapping my knee.
No, that's me just
Anyway, scrolling. I said, today, and this is where you got to hustle, guys. I'm gonna start a conversation with 15 people about me providing my home inspection services. And I sent out, I don't know if it was like a message, DM, with how I'm such and such, blah, blah, blah. The next day, she was in my inbox and she asked me these questions. And so we talked on the phone. She was just, she was cold. She was asking these questions. So what do you do such and such? And what do you do? She ain't nothing like how she is right now, man. So I was like, yeah, I can provide that service. She mean on the phone, guys. That's what you need when it comes to business. She got your back, but listen. I said, yeah, I can do that. Come down. I think it's something in Lauderdale or something like that. You know, New York or something like that. And I had to do an inspection. No, the one in Fort Lauderdale. In Fort Lauderdale, they were famous. And there was an older house in that area. The one I found the missing clips on. And we had a problem with the we couldn't find the action. But the thing is, in that house, the way they had constructed the house, they had half of it with straps and half of it didn't have straps, if I can recall, and I found it.
And it was killing me to find it.
Yeah.
He was like,
something's not right. Something's not right. Something's not right.
And so those questions, didn't even beat you up, but it came from a place because, I've dealt with a home inspector that kind of got me in trouble or kind of put me in an awkward situation. Yeah. So that's why I came to you that way. And not to mention the fact that you were newly licensed. Yeah. But I understand somebody gave me the chance. So I will reach out to somebody newly licensed and ask them certain questions. And if you answer those questions, because I tell people all the time, there are people that have had licenses for 20 years and they cover the same 2 problems. Mm-hmm. A lot of people will tell you, I've been in this industry for 10 years, and people get sidetracked by that and they don't ask the right questions. Okay, you've been in the business for 10 years, but how many homes have you inspected in that 10 years? Correct. And also they get sidetracked by $1 million listings. Yeah. Don't realize that to get these $1 million clients, you have to you can't just go to them and say, hey, let me sell you a house. You gotta drink coffee with them. You might have to go some cigars with them. You have to. Some cigars, but I got a picture on my Facebook.
Yeah, you have to network.
With a cigar in my mouth. I won't smoke it. No, I don't do that things no.
But you're right, because when I've done home inspections for a lot of famous people, I had to sign NDAs. Literally, I'm in a legendary golfer's house up north. Okay, I
When
can't.
they walk in on anything to him.
No. But let me tell you something. I learned from V. So V drives nice cars. I'm gonna tell you what she has, but she has nice cars. And when I first started, my money wasn't wrong. We all started with what we got, right? So I had a Honda CR-V, and I wouldn't get no respect because people. I had my ladder, my little shirt tucked in and stuff. Tucked in my shirt. But listen, when I bought my F-150, I jumped out. My shirt was untucked. My iPad was hitting my hip, and I was doing inspections because I had an F1. And
When I wanted to do this podcast before, I don't know if you remember, a couple of times I said I was going to follow you and bring my camera and try to catch some awkward moments. But yeah, there are moments where you almost like fall move or hurt yourself. And even though I have a network of partners that I can refer you to, ultimately, it is your choice to pick your home inspector. Okay? So I had a client, and the husband came to me and said, do you have a home inspector in mind? Yes, I have somebody I can recommend you to. His wife went online, found an inspector. I think he was charging like maybe not even 400 at the time, because this was before me. Like maybe 375. Found a home inspector to do it for 150. Oh, 150 for the whole inspection. Win it for a point because it was an older house in Coral Springs. Yeah, you sure? Dude pulled up to the house in a SpongeBob car. So me and the husband and I are sitting outside in the driveway, and we said, "This is inspector. Where's his truck?" He pulled up in a SpongeBob car. Where's his ladder? The funniest thing, though, he had one of those retractable ladders, those expandable. So he pulled it out the back of SpongeBob, and he took the ladder out, and he popped it up there. Boop, 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 boop. So the husband and I were like, okay, this is going to be interesting. Mm-hmm. Didn't have camera phones at that time because, I would have reported that. Dude went up on the ladder, went to, what's that called on the side right there? The peak? Is that the side right there? Yeah. And just went through. He did not step on the roof. You don't have to. He went to the back. He did bare minimum. So the husband was like, "I'm concerned about the roof. You're not going to go on the roof." He was like, "No, I'm not going to go on the roof." You don't have to walk the roof. You don't have to open it. Of course, guess what happened? After they moved into the house. Yeah. Storm came through, roof leaked, and he called me and he was like, Vernell, do you have a copy of the inspection report? And I was like, I have to pull out that report. Yeah, the inspector that your wife picked, remember? Yeah. It wasn't my inspector. We had to end up paying for that roof. The inspector paid for it? No. Oh, the people? No, because, again, he said you have all these disclosures that you have to sign, waiving this, waiving the firstborn, the rights to the boat, stuff like that. So when they went after him, he was like, that wasn't part of my agreement. During the time of the inspection, I looked at the roof and it appeared to be in a satisfactory condition. They're never going to say good or bad. It's going to be satisfactory at the time of the inspection. I've never, to this day, he was the only inspector that never went on the roof to walk. Mm-hmm. And I could see from the ground that, the discoloration, it was a tile roof. Mm-hmm. Like there's some patchwork over there. And the seller knew. Seller was waiting for us to come and ask for a credit. And when I asked for a credit, he wanted to see the report. The report doesn't mention anything about the roof that should be replaced. But do you think home inspection is a good career path for somebody that's handy, somebody that may not be handy, You can grow it. Home inspection company, you can grow it. The thing is, like I said, that you want to make sure you train the people under you that expect like you, because everybody has their own way of doing things, so it's not going to be the same flavor. You can go, I'm not the same pot. If I can say that, you got to build your name up first. And, you share your mission, vision, and hopefully the person that you are meant to, you go under them, they do the same thing. They do the right thing. The people thing, personality. All right, before we wrap up, the last comments, you guys that are watching out there, do you have any questions?
Any questions? Any questions?
For Marvin, as you can see,
Oh yeah.
he is definitely conversation.
They want to know when will the next Alex wants to know when will the next podcast be?
I'm not saying this.
Well, it's just what's on mine because I got mine's up too.
Listen, follow. Mine. First of all, Alex, thank you. Follow the podcast A.C.R.E, and A.C.R.E stands for Accurate Conversations. I am trying to do something every week. I'm going to try to do it every week. If not every other week, I won't be on next week because it's a holiday weekend. I won't be out on my boat. But, I'll probably be home resting, spend some time with my family, maybe see if I can get somebody to come post some fishing here for me or some kind of food. Any more questions on me? I want to plug this in. That'd be my plug. Yeah, you can plug.
Ladies and gentlemen, so when I got out of the inspection over the industry, I actually became a professor. All right, believe it or not, we're kind of smart.
Very smart.
I just can't say real talk. Real talk.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Real.
It's like I gotta talk.
Like a fishing reel. It's like.
Okay, so it's like somebody saying like, okay, so in the South we say milk, and then see. Here's your thing. Strawberry, sweet, bite. Get off it. Don't do that. All right, listen, guys. This is my proof. But the cost of eggs. I wrote a book, man. I wrote a book July 5th. This is my cost of eggs. It's about inflation. How to save your money and how to move around it because inflation happens every day.
No, this is interesting. Like, so
that's my proof.
If only this would have came out November 5th.
Oh, we still going through it. It's just silent.
No, I'm just doing something.
Oh, okay.
Y'all would have read something?
Oh, I see what you're doing. It took a while, but okay.
I don't endorse companies or candidates, but
she endorsed me.
92% of the time. Anyway.
The cost of eggs, July 5th. I'm dropping it on Amazon. We're working on getting Barnes and Nobles and all the world.
I am so proud of you. Do you know that
It's been 6 months ago.
I've been writing a book for 60 years.
Uh-huh.
No, seriously.
It's a good book.
I started writing a book in my 20s.
Yeah.
I have it. And
Alex, soon. I see you, Alex.
So the fact that you keep me posted on that.
Yeah, July 5th.
Definitely let me know when it's available. I'll go out there.
It's in education. And this is just me talking to you. When I was in school, they told us FCAT. You get a print for a test. My whole life in school was just FCAT. So when I went to college, I didn't know how to learn, dude.
It's crazy because when I was in school, there was no.
Okay.
But FCAT came out the year my son was in 8th grade, and I remember that the shift went from teaching to studying for the FCAT.
Correct. And then, so one of the big hang-ups was, if you can see on social media, it's like, oh, you don't need to go to college. You need to listen. You need education, whether it's formal or informal. I had a formal education. I had to informally learn how to be a homesteader. I had to use my own time to hustle. You know what I mean? I had to say this. You need to take every opportunity to learn something. My Jordan said, the day that you stop learning is the day that you die. And it can't be no further from the truth. This world is constantly evolving. So inside my book, The Cost of Eggs, I have these strategies, that a lot of people would never talk. So I basically take a higher level of education, and when it comes from the streets, I mix them up, intertwine them, and when you read the book, it makes you think about it. But you have to be business ready, not minded, but business ready. What is this? Because this book, it actually supports your mind. It makes you think about a situation, but you're responsible for researching the given situation. You want to get better at it. So that's all I want to say, man. In July 5th, we got it.
And where's it?
Right now, Amazon, KDP, the hard copy, soft copy. No Kindle.
Okay. I'm so proud of you.
Appreciate it.
Again, thank you for coming out in the rain, riding, through rush hour traffic to sit here and chat with little old me. You know, maybe this is around, maybe you won't.
That's gonna go down.
Honestly, you won't forget me.
No, we're going together.
You'll get some eggs.
We're going together. We're going together.
Eggs.
You said
Brown eggs. Okay.
a wise person once told me it takes a village. She's sitting to the right of me right now. I don't know where she got it from, but that's what she told me on Facebook. Hey, this gonna be the best part. Let me get a haircut.
My friend, it's been a pleasure.
Yes.
And again, signing off, you know, since you're, you know, a professor and everything and so knowledgeable, if you want to leave us with, you know, some final thoughts. And again, Marvin mentioned, you know, has, you know, all of this knowledge and all of this experience. And even though you might think that, okay, he was a home inspector, but he's a professor today, how is that going to help? It helps, because I told you the thing about Marvin. Okay, leave us with, you know, final thoughts as we sign up.
John 13:7, man. This is my definition. You may not know now, but later you will understand. Listen, life is exactly what it is. It's a journey. You gotta trust yourself and live in your purpose every single day. The day you stop believing in yourself, the day you're gonna be, wow, it's just over with. And you just gotta remove yourself from people who won't want to see you grow, because the world, the purpose is like, it's lonely. It's not gonna be anyone cheering you on. They're gonna be watching. You're gonna want them to clap, but they want to see what you do, because you actually inspire them. So it's not that they're hating on you. They just want to see if it's actionable. Can it happen? So trust yourself in your process. You got this. Go get it.
That is wonderful. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll be off next week, but I will be dropping tips from this episode through the week. And if you have something that you'd like us to talk about, you have, you know, somebody that you might want me to interview. Again, thank you for tuning in. This is Vernell Roberts, Marvin Williamson, speaker at the Conversations in Ministry, and see you in the flip side.
I'm not that fancy. Y'all, bye.